Transforming Bracket!
Wrath the Man is a Guy Ritchie film, the same director did the Sherlock Holmes movies, The Gentleman, Aladdin, unfortunately, and a slew of other movies. Actually, you guys can check out my director ranking list on my channel. I've actually ranked his work, so you guys can check that out down below. But Wrath the Man, guys, I don't know about you, but I personally did not really know much about going into this movie. I knew that it was a Jason Statham action movie. I knew it was directed by Guy Ritchie, which was a surprise because I know he literally just directed The Gentleman like a year ago, as well as the fact that it was a remake, which I found out literally right as I got into the theater because I looked it up on IMDb, and it said about how it was a remake. I have not seen the original, just getting that out there. I am kind of curious about watching the original now that I've seen Wrath the Man, but Wrath the Man is also an interesting film in that I only saw the trailer once, which one of the big things is that now I've been going back to the theater more frequently. When you go to the movies more frequently, you see more of the same trailers. That's just a known fact. Anyone that, goes there a lot knows this. It's one of those things that occurs. So for myself, seeing Wrath the Man, the trailer only one time is kind of a surprise. And the trailer didn't really leave much of an impact on me other than it's a Guy Ritchie film. But I don't remember anything about it. And I think that it's honestly a good thing because I was very surprised by Wrath the Man. Wrath the Man is a good movie. And after seeing the trailer a second time after the movie, I'm glad I didn't see this trailer multiple times because having only seen the trailer once, there was a lot of surprises to be had. There was a lot of twists and turns. There was a lot of also perspective changes that I was not expecting in the movie. And that's just it. This movie also transitions into a different genre towards the second act. That was also something I was not expecting. I'm not going to say which genre it turns into, but honestly made me very happy because I feel like Guy Ritchie is someone that when you actually let him loose, he is someone that can be very experimental. And he can be someone that also just really kind of showcases his strengths. This movie, though, I have to say this first and foremost, doesn't fully feel like a Guy Ritchie movie. It does in some regards, like in terms of like planning certain things and like the editing style during those planning sequences. But I will say, besides that, he has a tremendous growth. I love his editing style in his other movies, like the Sherlock Holmes movies, like Snatch, like that fast style of editing. But he's a director that never really has tracking shots or long takes. This movie has both. Literally, one of the opening scenes has it where there's like I'd say it's a 2-3 minute long scene. I was not expecting that. And honestly, I'm very glad that shortly after that, it showed like a Guy Ritchie picture. Because I was like, am I seeing the right movie? Like, what? And then literally a couple minutes later, they're playing around with the sound and everything in the movie also, which is experimental and something that I'm not really used to in a Guy Ritchie film. So it was nice to see growth as a filmmaker. And I have to say, he should be really proud of himself because he did a good job directing this movie. After a while, I realized that the movie was very unpredictable. It's not till like the last couple minutes where it does get predictable, but it's an hour and 59-minute movie. So I would say an hour and like 50 minutes of this movie was unpredictable, which honestly, props goes to the filmmakers because I was definitely left on the edge of my seat. The action scenes are very well choreographed. I thought that they were thrilling, honestly. That mixed with the score, which, by the way, the score sounds very similar to Joker, which honestly is a good thing because I think that this soundtrack really, score, not soundtrack. I think the score really elevates a lot of scenes. Cinematography is really good. I already mentioned some of the long takes, but even the fast, paced, edited, interwoven scenes with the editing, I thought those were really effective too. I liked the acting. Nothing really special about the acting per se, but I thought that Jason Statham did a lot better job than what I've seen him in other roles. I thought he gave a very much so more nuanced role, which I know. In a lot of other movies, he also gives a nuanced performance per se, but I thought this one was definitely more of something that I personally was a fan of in terms of his filmography. So he did a good job there, and I got to give props where props is due. Twists and turns, as I already mentioned, I like those a lot because it kept me on the edge of my seat. I liked the perspective change, as well as the title cards. The title cards are really kind of what signal the perspective change. So I really liked it. I really dug it. I love this type of movies like Bad Times at the El Royale that do that because it really makes you nourish and respect a lot more about certain scenes because it gives you different context, which I really liked. But yeah, I mean, again, keeping it short because Wrath the Man, let's face it, not many people have probably heard about this movie. Not many people are probably going to see this movie, unfortunately. I saw this on a Thursday. There was a decent amount of people, but it's Sunday now because I wanted to wait a little bit to review it, and it really didn't make that much. I get it; it's during a pandemic, but I think that a lot of people are going to be unfortunately missing this movie, and I really don't think that they should, because it's a good movie. It really is. Now, I will say my one issue with the movie, at least upon first viewing, is that there's a helicopter shot. There's a helicopter shot in the last 5 minutes of the movie, and I was like, please end here, please end here, please end here. And it didn't. It continued on. There was an additional 5 minutes, and I honestly thought that those 5 additional minutes, it was definitely more for crowd-pleasing mainstream audiences, because I feel like if they hadn't done those last 5 minutes, I feel like a lot of people would be like, well, what's the point of this movie then? And for myself, if they had cut those last 5 minutes, I think that honestly it would have elevated the material even more than it already did, because it would have given more of a sense of realism, which I think that the film definitely was trying to go for, to some extent at least. And I think that it would have honestly given a fresh twist on the genre that it ended up turning into. But alas, it's a nitpick, because I really do like this movie. I've seen some reviews say that how they don't like the structure, they don't like the pacing. I personally disagree. I think that the pacing gets better and better as it progressed, as did the editing style. I thought that really elevated the material. And honestly, Wrath the Man, it's underrated, calling it already right now. And I will be giving Wrath the Man a 4 out of 5 star rating, which, for a hot sauce rating, it's the good old Louisiana Pure Crystal hot sauce. So, yeah, would definitely recommend you guys check this movie out. Please do so. I'm actually trying to see it a second time, maybe this upcoming week. IMAX or Dolby, would highly recommend you watch it, because forgot to mention the sound mixing is outstanding. It's incredible. It really is. So, guys, Wrath the Man, what did you think about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, with the subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later.